Hi, this is Marta from Ruby Soup with Pearl Juice, and today I am bringing you another tag video. This tag's name is Spongebob SquarePants The Musical. It was created by Steph over at Steph OK, and she was also kind enough to request me to do this video, so I'll do it. SpongeBob SquarePants is a cult classic cartoon, and it has also been adapted into a theatrical musical of sorts, and it sounds quite impressive. It's like they blend all sorts of different genres together. There's country music and rock music and pop music. I think like Lady Antebellum is one of the people that did a song for this musical. It sounds pretty cool. I'm gonna have to confess right now that I have never seen SpongeBob SquarePants at all. Not a single episode. I am so sorry. And because of that, I have actually not seen this musical. So I am going to be doing this tag completely blind. So the first question that I'm going to answer is also the very first question on the tag, and it is Bikini Bottom Day, a book that introduces a large cast of characters. With this, I am going with Anna Karenina by Leon Tolstoy. This is a 19th century Russian novel that's also considered a worldwide classic. It follows a woman called Anna Karenina who embarks on an affair, and the book follows all the consequences and all the lives that get tangled up in the scandal. And right from the first 50 pages, we are introduced to Anna's brother, Anna herself, Anna's sister-in-law. We are also introduced to Levin, who is a man who is in love with another woman called Kitty, and Kitty is engaged with the man who Anna Karenina later has the affair with. So right from the get-go, it's giving you all these points of views and introducing all these ethnic lives, and it just gets even more complicated from there on. This book is actually really good and paints a very detailed and lively picture of Russia during those days. And it also has a very interesting depiction of double standards when it comes to affairs. Because Anna's brother has affairs constantly and he just can't keep his pants on to save his life. And he's forgiven for this time over and time over again. But then Anna, when she has an affair, things don't quite go as smoothly for her there. So it's a very good depiction of double standards when it comes to gender politics, while also talking about the politics of in general in that time. However, one of the major problems with the book is that it changes points of views quite a bit, and it's 800 pages long, so that's a lot of points of views to get through in 800 pages, but it's worth it if you can. The second question is No Control, a book where the characters have no control over how their story will end. I'm going to cheat with this one, and I'm just going to pick a book where only the main character has no control over their life. And that is Six Time Lucas by Lugia Boyunga. This is a children's book written in Portuguese. The author is Brazilian. And this follows a young boy who has a emotionally abusive father and a mother who prioritizes the father over the child's needs. And this book is a very somber depiction of a child who, due to their vulnerability and due to the fact that children aren't taken seriously, he can't do anything to change his very bad situation. I've done a very long review of this book on my blog. I'm going to link it down below if you want to read more about this book. This is in fact one of the most melancholic depictions of a person who has no control over their own life. The next question is BBF, your favorite bookish friendship. And with this, I am going with a female friendship. A Thousand Splendid Suns by Khaled Hosseini. And the friendship that I'm focusing on here is the one between Lila and Mariam. This book follows these two women, and we start with their childhoods, and then they kind of build up to when these two women get married to the same guy. And they both marry him when they are in their teens, Mariam marries the man when she is 15. Lila marries him when she is 14. But there's a very big age gap between these women. Marian is around her 30s when Lila becomes the second wife. And first, Mariam is really hostile towards Lila and really treats her badly. But then when Lila comes in and protects Mariam when the husband is about to beat her, then the two become friends. And the book then follows how their friendship grows while the husband becomes more and more abusive, and things just take off from there. This is a really fantastic book. It depicts Afghanistan during the Taliban era, and it's really, really depressing and heartbreaking, but it's really worth a read. So I'm not going to say too much about Mariam and Lila's friendship because I think you should read it, but it's just incredible when you read this book just how far these two women go for each other. So it's a really touching depiction of friendship. And then I'm gonna jump to number 6. Daddy Knows Best. A character that feels ignored by a parent. With this, I'm going with another middle grade book called The Dare Game, written by Jacqueline Wilson. This book is actually a sequel to The Story of Tracy Beaker, and I have not read that book yet. I have not been able to find a copy, but maybe one day. It follows, in fact, 2 children that feel ignored by their parents. The first one is Tracy Beaker's friend Jonathan, who, due to the fact that he's not very athletic, he's a little bit clumsy, and he's very, very sensitive, then his father ignores him because he feels that his son is not manly enough for his taste. And Tracy herself is actually adopted by a single caretaker. And this book is actually about her relationship to her biological mother, who is very flaky and very neglectful. And Tracy idealizes her biological mother despite these problems. And the book then follows Tracy coming to terms with the fact that she has to acknowledge that her mother is actually not really, like, her biological mother is not going to be there for her. And then she reconnects with her adopted mother. So there's 2 children there that are ignored by their parents. And now I'm going to jump to question number 9. Tomorrow is a story with a deadline, end of the world. I'm going with The Hitchhiker's Guide to the Galaxy by Douglas Adams because this book literally starts with the Earth being blown up by aliens and there's only 2 surviving humans left. So if that's not apocalyptic, I don't know what is. Question 11. Bikini Bottom Boogie, a book with characters you'd party with. Definitely the Moomins from all of the Moomin books written by Tove Jansson. These are classic children's book written by a Finnish author about talking trolls that look like hippopotamuses. And the reason why I would party with these people is because they eat nothing but pancakes. And they just have, like, when they have parties, it's a big gathering of people that just sit around a table and eat lots of pancakes. And I think that is like the greatest party that you could ever have. Question 16. Finale. Bikini Bottom Day Reprise. A book with a happy ending. I'm gonna choose When I Forgot by Elina Hirvonen. This is a book penned by a Finnish author, originally in Finnish. And it follows a woman who, at the beginning of the book, she has gotten a notification that it's visiting day at a institution where her brother is at. And she is trying to decide whether or not she's going to go meet her brother. And then from there, she starts to remember her whole childhood and a lot of other things that have been happening recently. And it's a very, very sad book that depicts child abuse, mental health struggles. It also depicts how Finland and Europe was reacting to the beginning days of the Iraq War. It's a very good depiction of a family tragedy as well as the tragedies that were going on back in 2003. But despite the fact that this book shows a very broken, dysfunctional family, there is a very uplifting ending to this book, and this is a very interesting take on the theme that love conquers all. So if you're looking for a book that's very deep and deals with difficult issues but isn't too sad, this is definitely the book for you. I've done a review for this as well on my blog, and I'm going to link it down below so you can check out more information about it if you would like. And now comes the last question. SpongeBob theme song, a classic novel. And with this, I'm going with Black Beauty by Anna Saville. And the reason why I'm taking this book is because this book actually does not get enough credit that it should. It is a pioneer in animal rights literature. Anna Saville wrote this book to protest the way horses were treated back in her day. And it's very interesting. It's from a horse's point of view. And it's very fascinating to read about the beginning days of animal rights activism and how people have treated the horse and all the debates that people had around how horses should be kept, how horses should be taken care of. It also depicts what happens to horses when they are neglected, and it's very, very disturbing, but really well done. It gets a reputation of being a girly book, and while, yes, it is a book that started the girls love ponies trend, then it also at the same time is a very heavily political book. So you should definitely read it if you're into animal rights. So that was the SpongeBob SquarePants musical book tag. I hope you guys enjoyed this. If you like this video, click the like button, subscribe, and I'll talk to you later. Bye-bye.